Hello there, welcome to Hero TV. My name is Tonia Enabo. I'm so excited to have you join me on today's program. And we have a very important issues to discuss. It's a trending story in Nigeria. The CBN is going to be reproducing new currency. And now we don't just want to stay on the fence and assume. I have an analyst with me here this morning, and he wants to just dissect these very trending issues. And I have Mr. Charles Ike-Okoh here with me. Thank you, Mr. Charles Ike-Okoh.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, Tony. My name, like she said, is Charles Ike-Okoh. Been a journalist for over 25 years now.
Wow.
And today I'm the publisher of the Government and Business Journal. It covers a wide range of issues, particularly in Nigeria and then, of course, Africa, including climate change, which is a burning global trade issue now.
All right, thank you very much for creating time to be a part of this discussion this morning. All right, in the recently, I think maybe 2 weeks to be precise, the CBN Governor has announced that is going to create new currency, and it's actually generated a whole lot of controversy. And the first question I want to ask, at what point should a country design a new currency?
Well, globally, and what's obtained and the norm is that it takes maybe a 5 year cycle for currencies to be redesigned and reissued. But that's this case with what we have today with the Naira note that the Central Bank of Nigeria wants to replace. They've been in place for over 20 years. And then some of them have become, more or less, dirty sheet of paper as far as I'm concerned. That you can't even, display it out to foreigners. And, because of the way, and again, because of the way Nigerians handle money.
Okay.
Yeah. So 5 years max, and it has a lot of its own advantages.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now we want to look at it. What impact does this reproducing the currency have on Nigeria economy?
Well, given that it is Nigeria, we're a very peculiar society. Our economy is very peculiar. Naturally, this would have created a lot of stability within the system, and taken out a lot of those money in circulation that is not within the banking system. For instance, the central bank referred to that in its policy call recently. 80%, which is huge, is humongous, more than 2.7 trillion. Outside of the 3 something trillion in the banking system, 2.78 is outside the banking system, which is, it doesn't make sense. For an economy to grow, the central bank must be able to track its currency in circulation very effectively. Okay, so naturally this would have reined in, it would have helped. I mean, we are witnessing inflation in the country today. There's a lot of pressure on the current, on Naira. With countries borrowing, a lot of external pressure too from creditors and stuff like that. So this is naturally would have been a good measure, to cool off the system, and then of course, the other attendant risk that comes with so much money in circulation with regards to our own climate, which is insecurity. Because we know how the terrorists collect their money, their ransom and all kind of things. So it's a very good measure, depending on how you see it. But the quarrel that I have with it, like most people have with it, is the timing.
Okay.
Yes, so that's what many of us are talking about.
Okay, we're saying that is the wrong timing.
Yeah, well, it coming before Christmas.
Oh.
And then 2 months to the election. I wonder how that will play out.
Okay, that is why they say it's politically motivated.
That's why most people are saying it's politically motivated. It would have done 6 months ago, when when people were watching the global trend, inflation, central banks taking positions on interest rates, and our markets beginning to correlate with the global markets. I mean, that's when this kind of policies should have been very effectively.
Okay.
And then, of course, a lot of people have been talking about the numerous exchange rate that the country has. By my own calculation, we have about 12 exchange rates in this country. It doesn't make sense. So the policy should have been harmonized, effectively and delivered effectively at the same time. You know, so the timing for me now, before the politics stuff, for some people it sounds vindictive because a lot of Nigerians politicians hold money in cash.
Yes.
And then for some people, it's okay. But for me, the timing spoils the fun.
Okay.
Yeah, for what it intends to achieve.
Okay, looking at election in 2023, which is very close, and then they are doing this suddenly. Don't you think is a way to control how politicians spend money?
Yes, but you can't ever control in any plan how politicians. All you need to do is it requires legislation. There's a cap on election campaign, spending in every client.
But Nigeria doesn't obey this rule.
We don't obey that rule. So that's it ought to have.
Okay.
And that's why the pressure on the dollar.
Okay.
So if you don't have the Naira, you go to the dollar. And then if you don't want to still keep your money within the system, you buy the dollar and keep it inside your bedroom. And that's why the rate to Naira is heading towards the 1,000 Naira range. It's currently 816 to the dollar, or 820 to the Naira to $1. So it's a terrible situation.
But before I round up, I just want to look at it from this view. You talk about policy, Nigeria having different rates and dollar rates in the country. Won't there be policy that should control, the dollar rate? That if dollar is 800 everywhere, parallel markets anywhere, and it should be 800 everywhere.
Even the official rate at 420, 446.
Are they still doing the official rate?
They are doing the official, that's the I&E window. It doesn't it's never been steady, it's never been stable. You get? So I don't know how that is going to be possible. You have exchange rate for pilgrims, you have exchange rate for Muslim pilgrims, you have exchange rate for Christian pilgrims, you have exchange rate for importers, you have exchange rate for exporters, you have exchange rate for students, you have exchange rate for manufacturers, you have exchange. No. So what are we talking about? I have never seen where this kind of thing happens anywhere in the world. Even the most backward economies in this world don't have the kind of exchange rate we have. And the CBN pretends it doesn't exist. You understand? The central bank governor must, put aside politics and do the needful for the economy to sustain. We keep on talking about the resilience of Nigerian economy, it is collapsing. Because, look at the signs after this policy was the finance minister came out and said, essentially, said that she wasn't consulted.
Yeah, she wasn't aware.
She read the story. It sends a wrong signal to the international community.
But they said, according to the Nigeria Constitution, when you get the approval from the president, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do.
No, you still need consultation.
As a finance minister.
As a finance minister, you have to be consulted. You have to be carried along. It's never done. Even the feds, before it does anything, it doesn't just go and pronounce. Congress must be aware. That's the House. Both houses of Congress must be aware. The president must be aware. The market itself will be informed of the Fed's decision. Same thing for Bank of England. The same thing for Bank of Kenya. We have the Central Bank of Ghana. They don't just make monetary policy.
Bomb blast.
And then your other associating ministries they're not aware of what the central bank is doing, even though it's autonomous. We agree it's supposed to take such independent decisions. But
you still have to consult.
Consultation.
All right.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. We don't always want to take your time. Thank you, because you're rushing to another meeting. Thank you, audience of Hero TV. Actually, I'll be discussing with Mr. Charles Ike-Okoh, and we are talking about the new currency the Central Bank of Nigeria proposed to change, in the next, starting from 15th of December, you'll be receiving the new currency. While submitting your cash to the bank, elapsed 31st of January 2022. Please stay tuned to Hero TV for more news updates. My name is Emefiele and thank you, Mr. Charles, for always being part of us.
Thank you very much.
And we also wish to come, as soon as we have another bombshell, and we also wish to come to dissect the whole thing.
Thank you.
Bye.